Hello students, welcome back to the fourth video of this playlist. So in this video we will be solving the fourth question from M1 January 2024 paper. So let's see what's the question number 4 from this paper is about. Okay, so basically the concepts behind this question is from statics that has been discussed in chapter number 7 of your Mechanics 1 textbook. So in order to be able to solve this question, definitely you should have idea about the concepts that has been discussed in chapter number 7, that is statics of your textbook. So let's get started with question number 4. So right at first you can see a figure 3. It's given which shows two horizontal forces P and Q acting on a particle. Fine. The angle between the direction of P and the direction of Q is 150 degree. Okay, the angle between the two forces, acting forces, is given. Force P has magnitude x in newtons. Force P has magnitude of x newton. You can see the figure. Okay, fine. And force Q has magnitude 5 square root of 3 newton. Okay, so the magnitude for the force Q is given. Okay, the resultant of P and Q has magnitude of what? Square root of 129 newton. Okay, so this is basically the introduction here. So here the resultant force of what? Force P and force Q, it's given, right? Okay, so in part 1 here they are asking to find the value of x. What is x there? X is basically the force, the magnitude of force P, right? Okay, so here right at first we need to consider one thing, some concepts related to vectors. Okay, so right at first, look, we need to use parallelogram rule. Which rule? It is called parallelogram rule. Okay, we will need to use this rule. What does it mean, the parallelogram rule? Look, for parallelogram rule, what we will do, we will draw a parallel line to this force x, okay, of same length, parallel, it should be parallel. Okay, and that is basically we will make a parallelogram shape with the force, like with the vectors. Okay, so this is parallel to x and this is parallel to what? This is parallel to 5 square root of 3. Okay, so this force, it's towards this direction, and the force P, it's basically acting what? Above, right? So according to vector addition rule, what does the vector addition rule mean? Vector addition rule mean if there is a triangle like this. Okay, if you consider this is OA and this is B. Okay, and if you want to find out AB, then the connecting vector should be directed from tail to head. So this is the tail to head is what? O. That means it should be AO and then tail to head. So tail to head, that means O to B. That means AB vector would be some concept from vector. AB vector would be what? OA plus what? OB. Sorry, AO plus it should be AO plus OB in order to be tail to head. Okay, like as that, look, this is the tail, this is the head. Again, for this vector 5 square root of 3, for the force 5 square root of 3 newton, this is what? This is tail and this is head. So that means the resultant would be connecting the tail of the initial vector and the head of the final vector. So this will be the resultant. So resultant is which one? This one is the resultant. Okay. Okay, fine. Now this is 30 degree, this angle is 30 degree. Okay, so that means this side and this side is parallel, so that means this angle is what, also 30 degree. Fine. Now we can use which rule here? We have to use the cosine rule. Okay, so cos 30 degree, the value for cos 30 degree, it's known to us, so we will consider for part 1. If you consider cos 30 degree equals to what? Cosine rule says that cos 30 degree equals to what? The sum of the squares of the adjacent side, that is 5 square root of 3 whole squared, 5 square root of 3 whole squared, plus what? Plus the other one is what? X squared minus what? The opposite, the square of the opposite side. Opposite side is what? Square root of 129, right? So that means that would become 129 over twice of x times, like twice of the product of the two adjacent sides. Twice of x times what? 5 square root of 3. Okay, so now cos 30 degree is what? Cos 30 degree is basically square root of 3 over 2. This is equals to 5 square root of 3 whole square is what? 25 times 3, that is 75, plus x squared negative 129 over what? Twice of x, so that would be give you 10 square root of 3x. Okay, so now cross multiply. 75 minus 129 is how much? 25 and 29. So that would give you negative 54. Okay, so if you do the cross multiplication, then what you will get, x squared times 2, that would give you twice of x squared, negative 54 times 2, that is 108. 25, this is 25, and then 75 minus 129, that would give you basically not 54. Oh, it's negative 54. Okay, negative 54 times 2, that is negative 102. This is equals to what? Square root of 3 times square root of 3, that would be 3. So that 3 times 10 is 30x. Now take all the terms on the same side. So what you will get? 30x minus 108 equals to what? 0. Now divide both sides by 2. X squared negative 15 x minus 54 equals to what? 0. Now what you can write here? X minus 6 times 9, that is 54, and 6 plus 9, this is basically what? 15. So x minus 9 times wait, it is negative, but I think middle term is not possible here. Twice of x squared negative 108 x 108 goes to 30. Okay, so middle term it's not possible. In this case we need to consider yes, 18 is better. X minus 18, we need to change the middle term basically, x plus 3. Now it's fine. Okay, so we got x minus 18 times x plus 3, this is equals to what? 0. Okay, so either x equals to 18, or x equals to what? Negative 3. Definitely x should be positive, right? X should be positive because we are not considering any direction here. Basically we are considering the magnitude. So since this is magnitude, x should be what? 18. The value for x is 18. So x is equals to 18. So that's what they have asked for in part 1 of question number of question number 4. Okay, let's see what they have asked in part 2 of this question number 4. We need to find the angle between Q and the resultant, giving you answer to the nearest degree. Okay, so we need to find out the angle between the resultant force Q. Sorry, the resultant force is square root of 129. this is the resultant force, and the force Q, this is the force Q. So we need to find out this angle. Basically this is the angle. So how can we find out this angle? Okay, consider this angle as theta. We need to find out the value for the theta. So for finding the value of theta, we can use cosine rule, also the sine rule. Okay, but sine rule would be better because theta, we need to find out the theta and its opposite side. It's known to us. This is x, which is 18 Newton. We know the 30-degree angle in and its opposite side, which is the resultant square root of 129. So it will be better to use what? The sine rule. Okay, so let's use the sine rule. So if you use the sine rule, then sine theta, its opposite side is what? The force P, which is 18 Newton. This is equal to the sine 30 degree, the known angle, over its opposite side is basically the resultant force, that is square root of 129. So we need sine theta. So sine theta equals to what? Sine 30 is half. So half times 8, that 18, that is 9 over square root of 129, right? Okay. Next is we need the value for theta. So let's use the calculator to find the value for the theta. Sine inverse 9 over square root of 129. My calculator is in degree mode. Okay. So keep in mind that the value should be in degrees. So we got 52 point. The value for theta is basically 52.410 something degrees. Okay, done? No, we are not done yet. Why? Let's consider one thing. Look, we know that the value for sine theta and the value for sine 180 degree minus theta is basically the same, right? That means for each of the values of theta using the sine rule, there will be an obtuse angle. Okay, for each of the acute angle found using sine theta, the sine rule, you will always have a what? Corresponding obtuse angle. So look at this figure. The figure clearly states that the angle theta that we have considered, it is basically what? Obtuse. Okay, so most of the student basically forgets to consider this fact. Okay, so theta equals to what? Equals to 1, it should be equal, not equivalent, equals to what? 180 minus 52.410, that much degrees. So theta would be how much? To the nearest degree, the value of theta would be 180 minus answer. It was saved. So 127.5, that means you have to write 128 degree. That's the answer for part 2 from from question number 4 of January 2024 M1 paper, and that's what they have asked for. That's it.